Hello, everyone. My name is Analia Mendez, and I am the Senior Career Coach for Signature Careers. I am so excited that you have decided to purchase the Ultimate Salary Negotiation Guide because that means that you're getting ready to negotiate your pay. And so you probably have gone through all the different steps of getting ready for that interview. You actually did well in the interview. They're offering you a position, and now you need a little bit of guidance on how you can negotiate top pay for what you are worth. So I'm so excited to go over the resources that I'm going to go over today because I believe these are the best ones that you should utilize in order to make sure that you're getting the most out of what they're offering you and the most out of what you want out of your salary and your dream position. I use these resources often with my clients, and I take them step by step, and I show them what they need to do in order to make sure that they're at the level that they need to be. And also, it's important that you're realistic with what you're asking. So you want to make sure that you're doing some research on how you compare in terms of region, in terms of education level, and so on. So we're going to go over some of that today, and you're going to have a chance to see what that looks like for you. So the very first, resources that we're going to go over is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Now, all these resources can be found online. I just want to let you know that. So all you need to do is look up the resources that I'm showing you here today. The very first one, again, is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And it is .gov, which is, it means that it's being curated and the research is being done by the government. So they do a lot of salaries on a yearly, salary evaluations on a yearly basis. And so you're going to have the latest and the greatest information. And that's for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And again, it's the Occupational Outlook Handbook under the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And then the next one is the Own It Online. This used to be an independent company, and then it got bought out by the government again because it was such a great resource. But it really gives you a wealth of information, and we'll go over what that means for you. Glassdoor, if you've never used that before, an amazing tool to look up salary in different companies. LinkedIn, which is, again, one of those platforms that's dominating the market right now in terms of the professional, platforms out there. And then we'll go over Udacity, and hopefully Udacity doesn't mind too much about me talking about their, what they offer, because I think they're doing an amazing job of offering a great package to their potential employees. And then Signature Careers, that's my website. So if you have questions, you can go to this website to look for more information. So let's get started. These are all the different resources. And again, my name is Analia Mendez, and I'm the Senior Career Coach for Signature Careers. I am excited to get started with you so that you can see what your worth is. So let's take a look at the next screen here. We're going to start looking at the different resources. All right, there we go. The very first one is the Occupational Outlook Handbook, again with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it is a government website. So you'll see right here that we have a wealth of information. From data tools to economic releases. They even have a tab for students if you're a student, so I think that's fantastic. I really like this particular one under the publications, the Occupational Outlook Handbook, because it gives you a lot of information about your profession, the skill sets, abilities, and so on. And so if you still have questions about where you fit in the world of work and how you compare to others, this is the place to go. So right now we're just going to go to the search box, which in my opinion is the easiest place to go to look for information. And you are going to type in your occupation. So in this case, I'm just going to say engineering. And it's already pre-populated so that we can go to where we need to go. And then you click go, and it's going to take you to some nice graphics and information as soon as we click on the specific type of engineering position that you might have. So I'm going to go ahead and click on civil engineers, and then it's going to take us to the next page, and it's going to show you very quickly a summary and quick facts of civil engineers. In 2018, the median pay was $86,640 per year. That's $41.65 per hour. And the typical entry-level education was a bachelor's degree. And with no work experience, well, actually, that wouldn't necessarily be true, but it would be with some work experience, right? Typically, actually, what's interesting about engineers these days is that you don't actually have to have paid experience. You're being hired solely on projects sometimes if you're coming right out of the universities. I think it's amazing what's happening with engineers. But anyway, back to the median pay, $86,000 for the United States. And if you want to see specifically for your state, your city, your region, you can do that too. And if you scroll down, you're gonna be able to see a bunch of information on civil engineering and what that looks like for you. So feel free to browse that, but I'm going to warn you, this website has a lot of information, so please don't click on every single tab. It could be very overwhelming very quickly. So I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is just go to the summary, take a look at the median pay and so on, and then you'll be able to see what that looks like for you. The next place we're going to go for civil engineers, and I've pre-populated some of this already, is we're going to go to the subjects area for Occupational Employment and Wages, May 2018. And you're going to scroll down, and it's going to show you a lot of information on employment numbers, on mean hourly wage, annual wage, and then it's going to show you more information based on industry. And then if you scroll down, it'll give you information on geographic profile. And I really love this because you can do some quick comparisons from state to state. So you'll see in Colorado, employment is 10,680. And then it gives you the annual mean for Colorado. It's 93,560. And now Colorado has become quite the state, in particular around the Denver area. So be aware, if you thought it was really cheap, it actually isn't anymore. That's changed. People want to move to Colorado. So this is why it's important for you to understand this, because if at one point you thought, well, the cost of living is much, much lower there, and my money can go much further. That's actually not true anymore for this region. So you need to do some comparisons and make an informed decision before you decide you want to move to a location where the pay might be about the same where you're located. So then here you can see Colorado, and then if you click something like Nevada, it goes up. It's about 100,000. And then in California, it goes up a little bit more. Annual mean wage is about 109,000. So again, do the comparisons, and it's important to consider how much you're going to get paid there again, and what the cost of living is, so that you can see how far your money is actually going to go and what you're going to get out of your negotiation and so on. So then you can also scroll down a little bit more, and it breaks down the information even more by state and civil engineers by area. So this will look at the different counties, this particular map. And again, if you're, for example, one state in particular, you're going to want to see how much do I get paid, for example, in San Bernardino in California versus somewhere like the Bay Area or San Jose, Silicon Valley. So the annual mean in Silicon Valley is 117,000. And then if you go to another location, maybe in California, again, maybe something like Riverside, actually the difference is not that much. It's 116,000. And then let's see where else. It looks like Los Angeles and Long Beach, it's a little bit lower. That's actually surprising for me. So you can see a lot of information. Visalia, it's 85,000, so it goes down because it's a little bit further away from places that people typically want to live in when they move to California. So just know that you can do some really amazing comparisons very quickly, because if you decide to do this on your own, you're going to find yourself being very, very busy with trying to track down how much each region pays. And so I want you to avoid that. You just go here, click on the map, and find out how much you can potentially get paid. So I think it's a great place just to find a lot of information very quickly. And then by state, it can give you a quick glimpse in different parts of the region. Here it says Alaska, California, New Jersey, Texas, and New York. So kind of all four corners of the country. You can quickly see where you're going to get paid the most. And this is interesting. Alaska says 125,000. So if you're an engineer and you go to Alaska, you're going to get paid more than the other states. Now that is something I actually did not know until I saw this map. All right, fantastic. So play with these maps, take a look at the information, but again, don't get too overwhelmed with all the information that they have to share with you, because it can be very overwhelming. I just need you to know what your worth is in each area that you're potentially thinking about moving to, so that you're empowered to say with a lot of confidence, I would like to get paid this much because of these reasons, and so on. Okay, fantastic. The next one is on the ONET Online, and ONET Online is another really great job bank and database of information on careers. You can do a lot of things on this website, find occupations. You can do a couple of assessments on career, which are free. I think it's great. And you can look up education, and they have a really amazing section here for veterans. So I highly recommend that you use it, because it has a lot of great information and the latest information, and it allows you to and helps you translate your skill set from being a veteran to a civilian. So go here, take a look at that. But what I want you to look at is just your occupation. So right here, I'm going to go to a different occupation. I'm going to go to nursing. And then if we enter really quick here, it's going to show us that particular occupation with a variety of names that you can choose from. And remember, it's important for you to take a look at the different names, because if you can do that, and remember that your profession might be called different things in different locations, when you're looking up information on salary, you can look up the different titles and do some comparisons. The days of having just one name are gone. There's many, many different names for different occupations now. So this report here gives you a summary, and if you can take a look at the summary job titles, you'll see that the different names of the nursing profession are listed. And again, you can use it to help you negotiate, because you'll look up the different titles and take a look to make sure that they're comparing in terms of titles. So if you scroll down, you're going to find some skills, knowledge, and abilities, and those are important also as you're negotiating your pay, because they're going to want to know what kind of skill sets do you have, what are your abilities, what do you specialize in, and should I pay you more money for what you have to offer? And of course, the answer will be yes, and I have the ability to do the things that you're asking me to do, and you're going to back it up. So it's very important that you understand that about yourself and your skill set, because you can have some of the same skill sets and some of the same technical or even clinical experiences as somebody else, but you need to understand what your worth is based off of your experience and what you have to offer that's different. So one person might have some of these areas checked off, but maybe you have all of them. So you need to be able to understand that and advocate for yourself. And as you scroll down, you're going to be able to see what the educational level is for nurses. Most of them do have a master's degree according to this graph here. And a lot of them, need that master's degree to advance and to practice and so on. So it just allows you to see how you compare to others. A few have doctorate degrees, and those are actually getting more and more popular for nurses. And some have some postmaster certificates. Usually that happens for anyone who wants to specialize or wants to go into some kind of administration role after they receive their master's degree. But we'll continue to scroll down. There's many other areas here that you can go to for certification and licensing. And it could be that maybe you have a certification that actually gives you an opportunity to say, I have an extra certification. And remember that that does matter for some professions. Just be able to bring that to the table and remember that you have that, and remember to showcase it also. So as I scroll down, you'll see wages and employment trends. The median wage for nurses in 2018 was $34.48 for the United States, and the annual was $71,730. So you'll be able to click on the local salary information, and if you click there, it's going to open up some information through the Career One Stop. And this is another site that's going to take you to some more detailed information on your profession. In particular, this one is clinical nursing specialist. And as we wait here, just be aware that, again, this is another site that's very useful. It is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor. And again, it provides really great information. So here you're going to see the view hourly wage comparison right away in the snapshot. And this is what I love about this website. The high end for the United States is $106,530. And then if you look at California, because that's what I clicked on since I live in California, you're going to see that it's $157,160. So not bad. Nurses are making pretty good money, I would say. Of course, anyone and everyone could say they deserve much more, and I agree, but here you can see that right away. And then the median is $71,730 for the United States, and $104,410 for California, and then it goes down to the lower amounts. Now, the lower, medium, and high, those are things that you need to pay attention to, because usually the lower wages are for those people who don't have a lot of experience. The medium is people who have a little bit more experience, and then the high is someone who's been in the profession for many years. So be aware of that. And if you scroll down, there's more information here, but we're not going to go there for now because there's just a lot of information. But feel free to click on any one of these buttons: current employment, projected employment, employment concentration, training programs, and then they also have an unemployment rate. But anyway, we're talking to you today about how you can negotiate your pay based off of what that others make, and what your worth is based off of your skills, your qualifications, your education, and your certifications. All right, fantastic. We're going to close this, and now we're going to go to Glassdoor. So Glassdoor, I really love Glassdoor. It offers a lot of information. It is and can provide you a lot of different types of services. As you can see here, you can look for jobs. You can look for your profession within the different areas. Also, it says here Chicago jobs, New York jobs. So you can do some comparisons there too. They have some company reviews. And why is that important? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that right now, because I think this is important. I think a lot of people get so stuck on, I want to get paid a lot of money, and I think that's great. But at the end of the day, I also want you to be happy with the position that you chose, not only based on the salary, but also based on the fact that you're going to go work for a great company. Because unfortunately, having a great salary for a great company, a big name company, for example, that'll, drive you for a while. It'll give you some energy for a while, but it's not everything. It really isn't. Today, I actually had a person that I had coached in the past come in and say, I am working for one of the big 4 accounting firms. So that's super exciting, because it's very difficult to get into these firms. And she said, after being there a couple of years, I don't know that this is for me anymore. And I said, well, tell me a little bit more about it. Well, I'm looking for something that's a little bit more fulfilling. And so we got into the conversation, and I'm not going to give any more detail. But then we talked about what would be great for this particular person, and what kind of culture, what kind of company, where does this person envision themselves to be in the future. So I need you to understand that money isn't everything. I know it helps tremendously, but at the end of the day, I want you to be happy and I want you to get the great pay all at the same time. So what Glassdoor does, it gives you some company review information, companies near you, and then it says company culture, best places to work, 12 companies that will pay you to travel the world. I love these things because, again, at the end of the day, it's about you being happy where you are and getting the worth that you believe you should have also. So just be aware of that. Now, in order to get some of this information, you will have to provide some information. This is a platform that asks you for specific information about who you are, where you worked. So if you scroll down here, you'll see my email, and it says finish your profile. I'm not going to do that right now because it's a lot of personal information, but I want you to pay attention to where it says know your worth, receive a custom salary estimate based on your title, company, location, and experience, and then it says get your estimate. And then you're going to complete these steps, follow 3 companies, write a review, add a salary, and upload a resume. So you're going to have to give a little information to get information. Just be aware of that. Nothing is free, right? Not even information sometimes. So here it's a perfect example. But I think it's great to be able to do that. These days, it's pretty typical for us to go online and create profiles. And anytime you create a profile, you're giving some company information. So just be cognizant of that. And then you're going to want to go to, you can click there to get your estimate, but we're just up here. There's a little link at the very top of the screen. It's a salary calculator. And if you click there, it's going to open up the salary calculator so you can get your estimate based on what you believe you should get paid, what your worth is, and then that can help you negotiate. So it says it is only private to you, so that's great. And make sure that you're turning on all those privacy indicators and so on, so that everything is kept confidential. And then as you scroll down, you're going to see that it's going to give you a total and it's going to have a graph for you. And I think it's wonderful to know what your worth is compared to others. And so this is a great tool. I hope you like this because I believe it's a great tool. You can also look for jobs here too. It says post a job and for employers, but you can also write a review and you can look for jobs. So it does a lot of different and has a lot of different functions that you could utilize. The next resource that we're going to go over is LinkedIn. And again, LinkedIn is one of my favorite websites. It has so much information. It's amazing. If you're not using LinkedIn, you absolutely should be using it. The account is free. You don't have to pay for anything unless you decide you want to go premium, which provides you different functions and so on, like everything else. But it is free to utilize it, and I believe they give you a whole lot for allowing us to use it for free. But you're going to go to the salary portion of it, and you're going to type in your profession. So here you can type in engineer, for example. There we go, engineering. And if you click there, oops, something went wrong. Let's take a look. Let's go back. Here we go, reload. Actually, we won't do that again in case it goes back to where it was. We're going to go to software engineering in San Francisco Bay Area, and you'll see right away here there's information on the profession. So 120,000, and then in the Chicago area, let's see, this is a different profession, but for software engineers, 120,000. That's not bad. Let's scroll down. Software engineer in San Francisco Bay Area, median base is 120,000, and then it provides you more insights. It says base salary from 19,963 LinkedIn responses. So these are this information is being gathered by the people who are on LinkedIn. In my opinion, LinkedIn is probably one of the most utilized, most professional platforms with some really great functions that I think, again, that you should be utilizing on a daily basis to find out information, to get that job, to do some comparisons. And you can also see salaries by industry, which I think is really interesting based on your profession. Consumer goods looks like it's the highest one, 135,000. Software and IT services, 124. Finance, 120,000. Corporate services, 120. And hardware and networking, 120,000. And then salaries by company size. So it gives some really great information. And you can see some trends here. The bigger the company, the more they're going to pay you. The smaller the company, the less you'll get paid. But again, you have to take into consideration that the culture of each one of these places is going to play a big factor. So it could be that you really just want to work for a small company, and maybe it feels more like a family as opposed to working for a big company. But you'll have to decide that on your own as you're looking at all this information, and then decide whether or not you want to make a move. Education, 145,000 for PhD level, 120,000 for master, 120 for bachelor. You know what's interesting about this is I'm looking at this data is, an associate is 114,000. The difference between the associate and the master is not that much. And the bachelor and the master is the same amount. So you have to think about your education too. I have a lot of people that come to me and say, I need to get that PhD or that master, degree. Well, it depends on your profession and whether or not you want to get more training for the sake of getting training, or if you want to get more training because you feel like it's going to give you more pay. You really have to hone in on that. But clearly here with engineering, you're seeing a trend that if you have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and at this point, even an associate degree, your pay is going to be kind of all around the same amount depending on where you are also, of course, in the company. It looks like it does jump up to 145 with a PhD, but it's important for you to understand these things as you're getting ready to make your next move. And so I think it's amazing what's happening today with some of the different fields. Salaries by field of study: physical sciences, 145, mathematics, 120, computer information sciences, 120, computer engineering, 114, and engineering, $90,000. So I love the details that LinkedIn provides on salary negotiation, because it really gives you the kind of a big picture on every one of these areas, and it allows you to see what you're looking at and how you compare. So use this. This is amazing. It's great for you to do some research all the way across in all the different websites, and then make an informed decision about what you want to do and how you want to approach the negotiation. Now, one of the things that I think is absolutely vital to understanding, again, how to negotiate, is that you need to understand, one, what you bring to the table, two, how important the culture is to you, your environment, and three, making sure that you understand that you have a certain skill set that you're offering that employer, and that you are going to be hired to solve problems for them, and you have to set yourself apart from everyone else. So understand those things. And so I do want to visit another website. It's Udacity, and hopefully they are not, okay with me talking about them, because I actually feel like they're doing an amazing job of offering some really great perks to their potential employees. And so look at the whole package before you say yes to the salary, and make sure that you understand what that looks like for you. Udacity, what they offer here is healthcare, lifestyle, monthly wellness stipends, gym membership, workout gear. And this is all from the website that we're looking at. Learning is reimbursements for conferences, classes, and seminars. Flexibility, flexible working hours, unlimited vacation, and paid parental leave. Meals, healthy catered lunches and dinner, snacks and drinks on site. Fun, board games, team outings, company parties, and more. And so I can't tell you any details about this because this is all Udacity, but I just read what's said on the website. And I just want you to know that all these things are now possible And the reason that they're possible is that we are working more hours than we ever have before because of all the technology that's allowing us to do that. So we don't only work 8 to 5, 9 to 5, we work after hours during our commute in the morning. So Udacity recognizes this, it seems like, and they're wanting to provide you all that they can so that you could feel comfortable. As you know, you are committed to the company, they want to give back to you. So I think it's amazing what they're doing. But consider all the package when you're really getting ready to salary negotiate, because maybe they're offering you a lower amount, but maybe there's some perks you can negotiate. So understand that there's a lot of flexibility with some of this with some of the companies, but you would have done some of this research ahead of time when you applied. But if you didn't, you're going to want to do it now before you say yes, because maybe you're in the middle of contemplating 2 different positions. So think about what that looks like. Maybe one company offers you more money, but they're not going to offer you reimbursement for learning. And at the end of the day, that's going to come out of your pocket. Or maybe they offer you more money, but they're not going to offer you a stipend to a gym membership. You know, gym memberships can add up, and it looks like workout gear here. So this is very, very intriguing, and I'm seeing more and more companies do this, what the Udacity is doing, offering all these different perks. So take a look at what is being offered. You can negotiate other things besides healthcare. You can negotiate parking. You can negotiate parking permits. You can negotiate working from home, telecommuting. You can negotiate vacation time. Maybe they offer you 2, but you want 3 or 4 weeks of vacation, depending on your kind of work experience and what you have to offer that particular company. So just be aware that you can negotiate many different things, but don't push it. It's very important that you understand if they are not offering a certain thing, they probably just are not offering it. So don't say, oh, so-and-so company is offering this. Can you offer that? Companies just don't like that. They want to know that you are interested in them only. So just be aware of that, and you would do some of this homework ahead of time. What I did want to mention about LinkedIn, one other thing, is that you may want to reach out to someone within that company that you're researching on salary, and see if they can provide you some guidelines on what they or how they negotiated their salary and where they started. So my suggestion is, don't ask them straight out, oh, how much are you getting paid? That's very rude. We don't want to do that, but we do want to say, hey, so-and-so, I was wondering if you can tell me a little bit about your salary range when you first started here. And people are more likely to share that as opposed to, hey, how much are you getting paid? So just be aware that you can do that. And I suggest that you try to reach out to someone within that company, if you can, through LinkedIn, and see if they're willing and able to kind of guide you and provide you some insider information. And you can get that information also through Glassdoor. So be aware that you can get some of that insider information through Glassdoor, or you can try to reach out to someone in LinkedIn that works at the company to see if they can guide you a little bit and mentor. I would approach it as, hey, I want to be mentored on this. And I think people in general are willing to help when people ask for help. So go for it. Do it. Why not? You have nothing to lose than, having them say, no, I can't give you that information, right? All right. Perfect. So then the very last page is just my page. This is me. I'm Analia Mendez, and feel free to go to my webpage, signaturecareers.org. If you still have questions about salary negotiating, I do want to go over a few tips with you, because I think it's important to just summarize everything that we've talked about and all the different areas that we touched upon. And the very, very first tip that I want you to be aware of is, I want you to be likable. And why is that important? Let's see. So if you are wanting to negotiate more pay than what they're offering, if that hiring manager really likes you, they're going to go out and bat for you. They're going to ask their supervisor, if they can increase the amount that you're originally being offered. Because sometimes these companies have a cap, and if they have a cap, that's pretty much where they want to hire you. But if the manager really likes you and they really want you to come and work for them, they are going to go and request additional funding. So be super likable and make sure that you let them know that you really want to be there with them, that you really want to work with them. Because if you let them know that you're contemplating between different jobs, they don't like that. They don't like that. And they may ask you, are you looking to, is there another position that you're looking at? And I would be just really straightforward with them and say, yes, there's another company that I applied to and they are offering me a position, but I wouldn't necessarily go really deep into that. And I would need you to really express that you really want to be there with that company, that organization, and that way they can go and bat for you. Tip number 2, make a case for yourself according to your background, your qualifications, your certifications, all the things that you have to offer that company. Remember, you are their problem solver. You are there because you are going to solve a problem for them. You're going to help them with a project, a very important, whatever it is that they're wanting to do. So you need to make a case for yourself. I've been asked before, why do you think you deserve that salary? And then you're going to say, well, I have 10 years of experience. I have a master's degree. I've run these specialized projects. And so it's kind of like interviewing a little bit all over again. And you're going to want to make sure that you're showcasing the best that you can offer and tie it into maybe a special project that they're wanting to complete. Because the more that you can showcase that you are valuable to them, the more they're going to want you at their company. And let me tell you something that these managers, they put a lot of energy and effort into hiring people and going through candidates. And once they find someone that they really like, they don't want to start all over again. So make it easy for them. Okay. Tip number 3, make it clear that you are very interested. And again, I did talk a little bit about that already. So just make sure that they understand that I really want to work here. This is the company for me. Give them reasons and be really excited, because we do watch out for that. I've hired a lot of people. And if I see that someone is not excited about coming to work for us, I may go with a different candidate, even though they may not have all the qualifications. So I may not want to, go out and offer the best salary if I feel like you're not actually wanting to be with us for a very long period of time. So show your commitment and show that you're interested and that you're there for them and that you're excited to move forward with the process. Because at the end of the day, it's not over till it's over. And so that's really important. And then tip number 4, make sure you understand their budget. Sometimes when you apply to positions, they will have an expected salary amount that you're going to be hired at. And so when you apply to the position, there are position descriptions that are uploaded to these different platforms. Make sure that you're taking a copy or a picture of it, because that is kind of like your contract also. When you get hired, you're saying, this is what I signed up for. These are the things that I agreed to be hired for. And so you can use it for many different reasons. You can use the position description to negotiate your salary up if you're doing more than what originally is being asked. And then you can also use it for any promotions in the future. You can use it for evaluation purposes in the future. So make sure that you're keeping that position description. A lot of people make the mistake of getting hired and not printing out the position description that you originally, or posting that you originally applied for. So keep it somewhere safe. Make sure that you're understanding what that looks like for you, and be aware of the budget based on what they're asking. They were originally asking in terms of the salary amount. And if they don't have a salary amount, it might say something like commensurate with the experience. And that just means that they're going to base the salary off of your experience. And they may take into consideration other people that are in the office. So If you're asking for a certain amount and it's much, much higher than somebody else that has been senior to you at the time, they may not be able to go and meet you at that particular salary range. So be aware of that. There might be other issues and reasons on why they can't give you what you're asking. So if they can be transparent, that would be great, but unfortunately that does not happen too often. And sometimes they do. If you're willing to ask, like, oh, is there a reason, why I'm not able to get this certain amount? But just tread carefully, because employers don't typically like to answer those kind of questions. They get very touchy. And then the very last tip is consider the whole package. Look at what they're offering you, the pay, the location, the environment, the culture, what you have to offer, whether or not, you are overqualified and getting underpaid, because eventually that causes some resentment if you're underpaid and you have a whole lot to offer. So that never works out at the end. But sometimes you just have to do it because you need the job. That's just sometimes how it is. But just be aware of that going into it. You may feel like, well, I'm overqualified and I'm only going to be here a couple of years. But usually employers can sense that, and they may not offer you the job just based on that. So try to really meet somewhere where you are happy with the pay, even if it's lower, and you're happy with the environment. Maybe you're trading off staying home, 1 day a week, or working from home, or telecommuting, or you have more vacation. So be aware that all those things matter. And at the end of the day, pay is great, but you have to look at the whole package. I want you to be super excited and super happy with what you decide you want to do, and how much you're going to get paid before you say, I'm going to be here with this company permanently. Okay, so we went over a lot of information. I hope you find every resource that I went through very, very useful. I know you will, because I use them quite often, and they really are the most reliable resources that I feel people should use when they're getting ready to negotiate their pay. And I am really excited for you. So negotiate with much confidence, and again, be aware of what you have to offer, your education, your certifications, all your specialty areas, and all those things matter. And then ask for the top dollar. And my suggestion is, there's always room to negotiate, I believe, even if it's not the financial part. And don't be afraid to ask, because if you don't ask, sometimes it gets very difficult for you to move up the ladder in terms of salary, and you'd have to apply for another position. So my suggestion is to always ask, and hopefully your potential future employer will say yes, and they'll go out and bat for you, and you'll get that top pay. So fantastic. Thank you so much for basically sharing your time with me today, and I'm so excited for you. And if you feel like you need additional assistance, please contact us at signaturecareers.org, or you can contact us also at support@signaturecareersguide.com. Thank you again. My name is Analia Mendez, and I am the Senior Career Coach with Signature Careers.